Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm a yoga teacher. I specialize in everything to do with fertility and pregnancy, birth and early motherhood. So if you like what I share here, I would love if you would hit the like button, leave me a comment, share what I do, or even subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your support. So today's video is going to be a first trimester pregnancy flow for exhaustion. Now, as you may be able to tell, I am not in my first trimester, I'm in my third. So of course, this is safe to do throughout all of the trimesters, but I just wanted to focus on that first trimester because I know for me that's one where I feel the most bone-numbing tired out of all of the others. You get physically tired later on, but I feel like during the first trimester there's this kind of internal tiredness going on. So this class is going to be for that. We're going to stay pretty close to the floor. We're going to focus mostly on the breath, opening gently through the hips and a little heart opening as well, because if you're breathing fully into the chest, you want this space nice and open so that you can get as much air in as possible, because that's going to help with energy as well. Remember, first trimester, you are welcome to do nothing. So some people won't practice any yoga during the first trimester because it really is a time of turning inward. Now this class is not going to build any heat or put your baby in any sort of danger, but you need to really listen to your body. So if you are really just feeling like a nap, you have my permission to go and take a nap. But if you do feel like you want to move a little, hopefully build a little bit more energy, then this class is right for you today. So I'm using a bolster today. If you don't have a bolster, any sort of cushion or stack of pillows will work. The beautiful thing about bolsters is they're nice and thick. So you might need a few pillows stacked up in order to get kind of the height that I'll get out of the bolster. So to start with, we're just gonna lie down. So bring the soles of the feet together and bring your bottom right up against the bolster or the cushions, and just allow yourself to lay on back. So if the knees aren't comfortable here, you can bring the soles of the feet together. And I really just want you to focus on the breath. So I'm going to get you to bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. I want you to breathe into the belly, breathe into the heart, breathe from the upper chest, softening there, and softening into the lower belly. So you should really feel this breath moving up and then moving down. You can release the hands wherever you like or keep them on the belly and the chest if you feel like you need to remind you where you're breathing. Inhale, belly, heart, hold, exhale from the heart, exhale from the belly. 3 more deep breaths like this. And then use the hands to slowly support you to come and sit back up. So if you're first trimester, you probably still have a little bit of core strength. Try and get in the habit of not using this area for anything quite strong. So use the arms to bring you up rather than those belly muscles. So we're going to come now to use the bolster or the cushions in front of us. You may like to just skip that entirely and just use the floor. It's up to you. I like to use a lot of support when I'm pregnant just because it's kind of this great reminder that this is a time to soften and open. It's not the time to do my really strong yoga practice, so I like to bring all these sorts of props in. So we're just going to come into a kneeling lunge. So just leaning the weight forward into this front foot. You may need to wheel the foot out a little bit more, and I just use the bolsters to bring me up a little higher. You can, of course, bring the hands onto the hips. So you've got to have a bit of strength going on through those hips as well as opening to hold the body here. Just breathing into the hips. And then let that knee fall out onto the side and bring the outer blade of the foot to the floor. As you inhale, bring the weight back into that back knee and draw the toes of the front foot towards you as you straighten up this front leg. Then take a big breath in, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold a little bit more. As you inhale, slide that bolster out the way a little bit so that you can take the foot across. We're going to come into our pigeon pose to stretch that other leg out behind you. Again, I like the bolster so there's no compression on the belly because we make this nice little space for the belly. And just soften the head and neck down, allowing everything to soften here. So breathing into those hips. If this is too tight for your hips, you can put some cushions under this side as well. And then slowly coming back up, pressing into both hands so that you can step that front foot back and just take the hips from side to side as you gently rock. Again, pushing that bolster out the way as you walk the hands forward and start to melt the heart down. Either the chin or the forehead can find the floor, taking a big breath into the space between the shoulder blades. And then inhale, walking back up. I like to just bring both hands on top of each other here. Take the elbows out wide and just rest the forehead down. So again, see if you can soften the space between the shoulder blades. And then walk the hands all the way back. Take the knees nice and wide as we come back into our child's pose. So you can have these arms out in front or you can wrap them around towards the heels. Rest the forehead down. You're sitting all the way back towards the heels now. As you inhale, coming forward once more. Stepping the opposite foot forward, pulling that bolster back in if you want to use it to bring the ground a little closer. So if you're feeling nauseous at all, making sure that you drink enough water, that often helps. Making sure that you're taking the time to rest, because I found often during that first trimester that the more tired I got, the worse the sickness got. And remembering in all of these poses to really breathe deeply. Roll onto the outer blade of that front foot, let the knee fall out. So that breath is going to help with the energy, help to start circulating all of that oxygen-rich blood around the body. So that's rapidly changing at the moment if you're in the first trimester. I think we end up having about 50% more or something blood circulating through the body when we're pregnant. All right, bring that front foot across, stretch it out, pull the bolster back in if you're coming back down, softening into pigeon, and softening right down here, making sure the belly's not compressing on anything. And then slowly bringing yourself back up. This time rolling onto this leg so that you can bring the other one around, coming to have a comfortable seat. So you might just be sitting flat on the mat. You could bring the bolster behind you if that's more comfortable. Just taking a few shoulder rolls here. And then bring the hands behind you, interlace them, draw them down, and then maybe you can shift the gaze towards the ceiling. Taking both legs out in front of you. And for some of you, this is going to be enough of a stretch, but if you can, gently lean forward a little bit more, getting a little bit more through the inner thigh. Really focusing on that breath, breathing into the belly, breathing into the heart, breathing out from the heart, breathing out from the belly. And then just gently pulling the feet back in towards each other. And that's it for today. So normally at the end of a yoga class, I recommend that you do a meditation. So if you head over to my online yoga circle, you can check out, there's a whole bunch of meditations there for pregnancy and also for preparing for birth. So go and check those out. If you haven't already downloaded my free Yoga for Pregnancy guide, I'll link that below in the comments as well, so you can check that one out. I've got heaps of other Yoga for Pregnancy classes here on my channel, so make sure that you subscribe and go and check those out. Otherwise, look after yourself and that beautiful growing baby within you. Make sure that you keep in touch throughout your pregnancy and reach out if you need any help. Namaste.